Yeah, I'm making a video for Japanese people who are learning English very seriously and who want to come to the Canada in the near future, and they want to learn some idioms or slang that they cannot learn in Japan. So could you please tell me one English phrases?
I would introduce the idiom of at a moment's notice.
At a moment's notice. I have never heard of it before, so do you think it's really useful for Japanese people?
Absolutely. I think it comes up all the time. I think people will recognize it when you use it. I think it will be very, very helpful in a lot of professional and regular everyday situations.
Oh, really? So is it kind of like academical, like words, academical phrase in English?
I would say it's really good for professional use. Like you would find it a lot in an office. It would come up a lot if you had like a busy workload or if something came up suddenly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever used in the like a business situation when you work there?
Oh, absolutely, all the time. So sometimes like if a task was brought to me very suddenly and I didn't have time to prepare for it, I would describe it as being at a moment's notice.
Could you please tell me the one of the example
Oh, sure.
with the phrase?
So sometimes maybe your manager would come up to you and say, I'm sorry, but I need you to prepare a report for me. I know that this is at a moment's notice, but I would really appreciate it if you could do this quickly.
I kind of understand what it means, but I want to know exactly what it means. So yeah, what it means.
It's used to describe any situation that you don't have time to prepare for or that you don't expect to happen. So if something comes up suddenly and you need to address it immediately, you would say that the situation came up at a moment's notice.
For example, if you work at the office and if some urgent tasks are coming up to you and you're gonna say, oh sorry, this is at the moment, at the
Moment's notice.
At the moment notice, but would you be able to do it as soon as possible? Yeah, can I say like that?
Exactly, that was perfect.
Ah, I see. Do you know like where that came from?
I guess it's because you receive the notice for the task in that moment. It didn't come prior to that moment. It's just at that exact moment that you learn that you need to do this thing or that this thing is relevant.
Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you so much. That's very helpful.
I'm happy to.
Do you have any like one in your mind when I say English idiom or slang?
One to start off with that I think is really good is how's it going or how's it hanging? Which both just mean like how are you doing?
Yeah.
But in English there's like a lot of different ways of saying
I know,
it.
yeah.
There's a lot of different ways of just asking like a person how have they been. And most of the time people in English will ask you these questions and they don't really expect an answer. It's just mostly asking if you're doing well. It's one of those very strange things. In Japan I was very used to the kind of like style of just greeting someone and that's it. But here it's mostly in the form of question, but it's actually just a greeting. It's not so much the beginning of a conversation. And that's one of the odd things that I learned moving to more English-speaking countries. If I can think of another one, it's like one really common one is break a leg, which is the strangest way of wishing someone luck. That's literally just what it means, good luck. But what it literally means is break a bone.
Break a bone. Like it sounds pretty painful though.
It sounds pretty painful, but I think it's actually based on, if you've ever seen kind of like some of those old family movies, the old Western family movies, there's kind of like an old tradition of breaking a chicken leg in half. And that is supposed to be, if you get the bigger side, you're supposed to do it with two people. If you get the bigger side of the bone, you get a wish. I'm guessing that's where the phrase comes from, but I really don't know. That's just a personal assumption of mine.
Yeah, it sounds very strange, but I think that might be kind of like useful phrase for Japanese people. What kind of situation do you use it?
When someone is typically in sports, like a game of soccer, basketball, even skateboarding, if you say break a leg to wish them luck during the game. Like when someone's going to go through kind of like a bit of a strenuous activity, something typically is something physically demanding. Break a leg essentially is wishing you luck with that sport or with that game. And it's a very common phrase. I don't know if it's as popular anymore. I still use it, yeah.
Oh, I see. For example, if I have a job interview tomorrow, can we say, break a leg? I wish, your job interview is going very well.
You wouldn't add that second bit, but hey, good luck with your job interview, break a leg. That is just saying that you wish for that person to be lucky in their job interview, typically that they succeed. If you go to class saying break a leg will sound a bit odd, but if a person has like a test, then break a leg makes sense.
Makes sense.
It's mostly, as I've seen it applied, it's for stressful activities, stuff that you would typically worry about, whether you pass or fail, whether you succeed or don't do very well. It's mostly the implication that someone wishes you luck in order to succeed. They want you to win.
Okay, I totally got it. Okay, perfect. 皆さん最後までご視聴ありがとうございました。今回ご紹介したAt the Moment's Notice, Break a Leg 以外にも学校では知ることができない英単語フレーズを100個まとめたオンライン本を私たちLife Journeyでは販売させていただいております。そちらにて現地の人が使うイディオム、若者が使うスラング、レストランで使えるフレーズ、これらすべてを学べて税込み500円で販売させていただいております。もしご興味のある方は概要欄の方にウェブページのリンクを貼っておりますので、そちらからご購入の方よろしくお願いいたします。そしてこの動画が面白い、参考になったという方は高評価、チャンネル登録の方よろしくお願いいたします。ということで次の動画で。ビザの取得や学校選び、一人で留学準備には不安がいっぱい。そこで私たちLife Journeyでは皆様のそれぞれの夢に合ったスタイルを提案させていただき、留学を全力でサポート。ご相談の申し込みや簡単3ステップ、概要欄のリンクからLife Journeyの公式 LINE を追加、チャット欄のボタンから簡単な留学に関するアンケートを入力、内容を確認後カウンセラーがご連絡差し上げます。皆様のLife Journeyがより素晴らしいものになるよう全力で応援します。ぜひお気軽にご相談ください。